All right. Greetings, everyone. I'm Dr. Christie Murray, and I want to say happy Tuesday to you. Terrific Tuesday. I'm excited to be on tonight to talk about our upcoming 2021 Virtual Youth College Excellence Summit. We are just 4 days away from hosting a phenomenal 2 day event to help students and parents get educated, equipped, and empowered to take action in their future college aspirations. I want to say that one of the groups of students that's near and dear to my heart are scholar athletes. I have two sons who played sports all throughout their youth, and a son who's playing Division I football right now at Norfolk State University. So, as a parent, I understand. Whoever said the boys were cheap growing up, they didn't tell the truth because my sons were never cheap, especially those who play sports. But as a parent of students who are both athletic and academically inclined, as we want all of our youth to be academically inclined as a priority, it's important to talk about the realities of what it's like to be an athlete in college. So, with that being said, I am excited to introduce a panelist at this week's summit, weekend summit. He's going to be speaking on noon on Saturday on our NCAA chat with Scholar Athletes panel, Mr. Alexander Washington, who is esteemed, and I will give him an opportunity to share more about his background as an athlete in college. So, Alexander, I'll let you introduce yourself.
Yeah, thank you for letting me be a part of this. Definitely honored. I'm Alex Washington. I go to Harvard University on the football team there, and I'm from Birmingham, Alabama, and majoring in sociology with a minor in art. And yeah, I'm excited to be a part of the panel.
Fantastic. So you mentioned Harvard University. So I just want to pause and say, I think it's incredible to talk to a young adult who is going to an Ivy League university, who's playing sports at an Ivy League university. So Alex, you did you say what year are you in school?
Oh, sorry, I'm a junior, upcoming junior.
So you're a rising junior. So you've been at Harvard for 2 years. So start out, let's back up. Can you tell us about your journey to get to Harvard? And was it easy or hard as people think it is getting into an Ivy League school?
Definitely wasn't easy. A lot of hard work goes into it academically and athletically, but also not as hard as people may say or what it's perceived to be. If you work hard in both aspects, then you're gonna have a chance. Yeah, I felt like I compare it to just filling out a certain mold. So if you check all the boxes, if you're personable, if you work hard, you got the work ethic, you got everything, then it'll kind of take care of itself.
Excellent. So it's not just about having being good on the football field or being great at athletics. You have to balance that with having the right attitude and also being academically sound, it sounds like.
Yep, yep.
Now, would you say the application process for an Ivy League was about the same as applying to schools anywhere, or is there something different about what you needed to do for an Ivy League school?
No, I wouldn't say it's particularly different. You have your college essay that you write, that's like your main thing. And then, of course, every college has like personalized essays for that specific college on why you want to go there. But besides that, it's nothing really out of the norm that, that they're presenting to you or that they make you do.
Excellent. So it sounds like you didn't run from the essays. And for those youth out here who really don't like to write or don't think that essays are something they're interested in doing, it could be the difference between you getting accepted and getting to the school of your dreams or not. So tell me, Alex, how did you get to play football at Harvard University or Harvard? And what did you have to do in terms of that whole NCAA process?
I feel like my story is unique in that I've only been playing football for, going on 3 years. So picked up football my senior year. I was a basketball guy before then.
Oh.
Didn't even think about football, but my senior year I wanted to try it out. And, I was blessed to, gain 20 offers by the end of by the end of the season. So just it was kind of like a blur for me, honestly, the whole recruiting process, everything, people were coming to my house, we were going on visits, whatever, whatever. And then I went to Harvard and it was like a perfect fit. So kind of just got it right into it. I committed in December, and I got my acceptance letter in March, and then next thing I know, I was on campus that summer. So I don't even remember like the whole exact process, but I just know it was like a blur.
That sounds like a fairy tale kind of an opportunity. Playing football for like 3 years, and that includes the 2 years you played in college, I'm assuming.
Yep.
And then you have such a great opportunity. Now, in terms of funding, because I always like to talk to students about going to college debt free. Can you share, not to get too personal, but
Right.
can you share from a high level? And I know at some Ivy Leagues they don't give out scholarships, but can you explain how that process worked for you?
Yeah, so I'm not on scholarship. No athlete at Harvard or any other Ivy League school is on scholarship. It's all financial aid based. But since Harvard has the biggest endowment out of any college in the country, they're very generous on financial aid, more than other colleges. So, you fill out your parents fill out your tax returns, all that, and then they present you with the whole financial aid document of it's all need based. So they present you on like based off need. And I'm blessed to not really pay anything. So they're very generous with it when it comes to stuff like that. Yeah.
But we love to hear students who are going to school fully funded or close to fully funded, because that means you do not have to take out, you don't have to be one of the 44 million people in this country that have over $1.7 trillion of student loan debt. So that's very encouraging to hear that about your journey, that you didn't have that experience. So you got through high school, signed that letter of intent or acceptance letter, you got accepted into Harvard, graduated. What was it like your first year? I'm curious, like as a scholar athlete, now you're on a new campus in a new city, new state. You are away from your parents and you are having to adapt to a new environment, adapt to a new academic level of rigor, and adapt to an athletic environment. What was that like in terms of balance? And what did you learn about yourself through that?
I learned a lot about myself. I learned a lot. Coming from Alabama, went to a public school. School wasn't, too hard. Even though I tried in school, it wasn't like, pressing. And then athletics always kind of came natural to me. But being in a new environment like Harvard, where you're at the top of the line academically and athletically, it was definitely it was eye opening. I wouldn't even say it was challenging because they surround you with a group of people that's on the same mission. So, you're with all of your football brothers. Everybody's, to the same academic level, and they're also trying to, get the bag, as one would say, in the athletic side of it. So honestly, the help of with the teammates, with the professors, with the coaches, it wasn't that bad. You're all in this together. So yeah, it's a struggle. Like yeah, it's a grind. And the biggest thing I learned is time management. So like that is the thing. Like you have to manage your time well. So before practice, if you have 30 minutes or so, you can either nap, you can get on your phone, you can get on social media. But I'm writing a thesis for an essay, or I'm trying to, come up with, a discussion question for a class. So honestly, I would say that's the main thing that helped me out is just managing my time well.
Excellent. So, how has it been academically in terms of? I'm trying to figure out how to ask this question. In terms of the coursework, do you find that, Harvard is the college that you're at, but are you keeping pace academically, pretty much as if students would anywhere else?
Yeah, I am. That was one of my biggest worries coming in. Like I said before, I went to public school in Alabama. So a lot of the kids go to these feeder schools, these prep schools, these boarding schools, and they work their whole life to get to, to Ivy League school. But me, I was kind of different. So that was kind of my main worry. But when I got there, it really wasn't bad. Time management and just working hard and putting in effort will take you a long way. You don't have to be the smartest in the room. You don't have to be the most, intellectual. But if a professor sees you trying hard and, you reaching out to them, you talking to them after class, you're putting in that effort, then, they're not going to let you fail. They're going to be willing to help you.
Excellent. And I just want to highlight how important that is. The level of effort you're willing to put in anything in life can determine your level of success and your outcomes that you may desire. So it's encouraging to hear that. Also, Alex, it sounds like you're going into your junior year, and last year we had the pandemic. How has that shifted, or how has that impacted the last year or so, your ability to play football and what your academic experience has been?
At first it was challenging, because I was there for 8 months my freshman year, and then in March they were just like, "Hey, y'all got to get out of here." So had to go back home, kind of had to refocus. I was in a different environment. I was back home, I was doing online classes, but then last year, my sophomore year, we were completely online for the whole year. So honestly, it allowed me to really lock in on school without having. I've always been an athlete, like my whole life. Whether that be basketball or football. But this past year, I was just a student. So I really wanted to lock in and like focus on academics and actually, take the challenge of, being a Harvard student. So that it really helped me lock in. I really dedicated myself to the coursework, to the readings, and I was still training and doing everything I could to prepare myself for the season upcoming in the fall. So it was all in all a good experience.
Excellent. Now, let me ask you this question. You're playing football at Harvard, and what position do you play?
Like cornerback.
Cornerback. Okay. Now, is that what you played when you were in high school as well, or did your position shift?
Yep. Same thing in high school.
Okay, phenomenal. What are your plans after Harvard?
So I really want to work in the front office, whether that be the NFL or the NBA. I love the game, love athletics, and if I can't be playing, I would want to be on the other side of it. Doing front office things. Making decisions about teams, even maybe one day owning the team. So that's one of my passions that I really want to get into.
All right, I appreciate that. Having a vision and a plan is important, and using that to help drive and keep you inspired in what you're doing now. And one of the things that I would encourage you to continue to do, I'm sure you're probably already doing it, but I'm saying this also for those who may be joining us and listening and watching the replay. Surround yourself with people who are in places where you want to be. And if you're the smartest person in your group, get a new group. Make a guest appearance in your old group so you can help other people grow, but get a new group so that you can continue to grow and surround yourself with professionals who can help you to achieve those goals. So I'm going to cut us short on purpose because I'm looking forward to Saturday's session at noon with Alex and other athletes. But I wanted to introduce Alex tonight and say thank you for joining us. And we're excited about having you at our upcoming Youth College Excellence Summit. And for those of you out there who have not gotten your tickets for yourselves, for your family, others in your communities, highly recommend you do so. It is a free event, and we are giving out on the spot scholarships on the second day. You almost have to attend both days because we're going to announce what you need to do to get a scholarship on day one, and we're going to give out some scholarships on day two. So join us for the summit. We are putting the link to it in the comment section of the live. Again, I want to thank you so much, Alex, for your time tonight. Best of luck to you at Harvard and beyond. And I look forward to seeing you again on Saturday.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.